What's going on, everybody? It's Warren. Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, and we have some pretty big Spider-Man No Way Home news today. We're getting pretty close to the movie's release date and hopefully getting pretty close to that trailer releasing. And as we get closer and closer, more leaks are going to inevitably get out. And today we actually have some pretty good leaks. We have some leaks about 3 different scenes that are going to be taking place during Spider-Man No Way Home. 2 of those involving some pretty cool rematches that I know a lot of fans are going to be really excited to see. Then 1 new fight that of course fans are going to be excited for as well. We also have 1 leak that gives us more confirmation that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man will be in the movie, and then it looks like we might actually have a time frame for when to expect the trailer. Like I said, a lot to dive into today, so let's get into it, but if you're new, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. So before diving into a scene that Tobey Maguire is going to have in Spider-Man No Way Home, let's talk about something that has happened recently that gives us further evidence that he is indeed going to be in this film. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man Spanish voice dub actor Roger Pera has seemingly confirmed that he is going to be working on Spider-Man No Way Home. On Instagram, he was recently asked if he was going to be dubbing Tobey's Spider-Man again, in which he replied with sort of a 2-part answer. 1, he zipped his lips, but then he gave us a thumbs up, seemingly confirming that yes, he is going to be dubbing Tobey's Spider-Man again. Now, this is actually his second confirmation of him stating that he is going to be dubbing Tobey for Spider-Man No Way Home. In fact, last time it looked like he kind of got into some trouble for saying anything about it. Earlier this year in April, he was interviewed by a YouTube channel, El Sotana del Planet, in which they asked him a similar question if he is going to be working on any Spider-Man film soon, in which he responded that he was indeed going to be working on a film soon. This was posted to their YouTube channel, in which very shortly after, the part where he answers this question was removed. It was edited out, which YouTube does allow you to do once a video is posted. You still can edit things out. So today isn't the first confirmation we've got from him, but the second. And of course, it's just more evidence of Tobey being in the film, because if he's not in the film, why would his Spanish and Portuguese voice actor be in the film? Especially because he doesn't do the work for Tom Holland's Spider-Man or Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, just Tobey's. So more evidence that Tobey Maguire is going to be in the film, and of course that also gives us more evidence that Andrew Garfield will be in the film as well. And speaking of those 2, like I mentioned in the beginning, we have some leaks today involving the 2 of them and our own Tom Holland Spider-Man. Now there seems to be a common theme with several of the leaks that have come out pretty recently, and I have heard from some people, and some people have been posting online recently, that there is a pretty big plot leak out there that is true, specifically 1 part. And that specific part is about Doctor Strange somehow capturing the villains from the other universes and keeping them in some sort of a magical prison inside of the Sanctum. From there, apparently Doctor Strange and Tom Holland's Spider-Man will have a bit of a disagreement. This disagreement is presumably about Doctor Strange keeping these villains locked up. And from here, it seems like our Peter Parker is going to be responsible for releasing these villains. Now, how Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man and how Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man get into the picture, that's still unclear. Whether Doctor Strange brings them in for help or the multiverse somehow sucks them out of their own universes and spits them out into ours, we're not sure about that yet. But we know that they're going to be in our universe somehow. And thanks to the account Superhero Theorist that I've mentioned on here before, we have a little bit of insight on a few scenes that we can expect from Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, and our very own Tom Holland Spider-Man. According to Superhero Theorist, we are going to be getting 3 fight scenes, and 2 of these are going to be rematches from previous movies. The first one, of course, is going to be Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker and Doc Ock. We had some pretty amazing, iconic fights in Spider-Man 2, specifically that train scene, and it looks like we're going to be getting at least 1 more iconic fight between them as well. Then, according to this report, we are also going to get a rematch between Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker and Electro. Now, these 2 are the fights that we kind of knew were going to happen. After all, the first characters confirmed to be in this movie outside of the normal cast of Tom Holland, Zendaya, Jacob Batalon, etc. were Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx. And both of them weren't exactly quiet about it. They pretty much came out and stated it. Now, to their defense, the reports did come from major trades like Deadline and Variety, but Jamie Foxx did post a picture to his Instagram about the Spider-Verse, and Alfred Molina in an interview basically gave how he enters our universe away, giving us a lot of details, including on when exactly he's going to be taken from his universe. And according to him, what director John Watts told him is that 1, nobody ever really dies in the Marvel Universe, and 2, they were going to take him right from that water scene at the end just before he dies. Which means we can probably assume that Jamie Foxx's Electro is going to be taken from the end of The Amazing Spider-Man 2 right before he dies. But then Superhero Theorist says that we're going to have another showdown, and that's going to be with our Peter Parker, Tom Holland, and an Amazing Spider-Man character. Now, at this point in time, so many characters have been rumored to be in this film, we're not exactly sure who they could be referring to. But we do know 2 things. One is that there's essentially going to be a Sinister Six in this movie. A Sinister Six consisting of villains from all of the universes, not just ours, not just from the Spider-Man Sam Raimi universe, and not just from the Amazing Spider-Man universe, but all of them combined. The 3 different Spider-Men will team up together to fight the Sinister Six, and the main villain behind it all is going to be the Green Goblin. And based off of everything that we've heard so far, the Green Goblin is going to be Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man universe. He is seemingly going to be the leader of the Sinister Six, and there's also rumors that we could actually have our own Norman Osborn appear in the movie as well, and he could actually be good. There has been a leak, and although this isn't one of those leaks that has been confirmed to be true, it does state that the other Norman Osborn from the Sam Raimi universe is going to kill our Norman Osborn. And if that were to come true, that could have huge implications for the future of our Marvel Cinematic Universe, especially if we've learned anything from Loki, and I don't think that the TVA is going to be around for much longer to correct things. And speaking of, like I mentioned in the beginning, it looks like we may have a time frame of when to expect the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. And this is also coming from Superhero Theorist, who has never actually mentioned anything about a trailer release date before. But somebody tweeted, "I'm guessing the trailer is coming before the premiere of What If," and he responded with, "Oh yeah, before that." Now, What If comes out on August 11th, so if this is true, it's going to be coming out before that, which means we have less than a month. But if we think about this, this actually makes a lot of sense, and we should have seen this from the beginning. The Loki series is what's really introducing the multiverse to us. And more than likely, in just a couple of days now, the show is most likely going to end with the TVA being taken down and destroyed. The TVA was responsible for killing, essentially, branch timelines. Basically, their job is to prevent the multiverse. And with the Loki finale most likely ending with the TVA out of the picture for good, that's going to set up Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And this is what needs to happen before we see the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. That way people could have a good grasp on what the multiverse actually is. And that way variants of a character aren't really that confusing. I mean, we've seen at least 20 Lokis by now, so seeing 3 Spider-Man on screen shouldn't be that big of a deal, although it's going to be the biggest deal ever. But thanks to Loki, people shouldn't be confused. So if this report is true about the trailer coming out before What If on August 11th, it makes perfect sense because Loki had to finish first. Let's just hope it's true, but let me know what you think about all of these leaks in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the latest videos. For live updates, you can always follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.